Good morning, YouTube. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. It's Atticus, and I'm back with you for another replay. So this one again is against a really cool guy, really talented guy. Our first two games, he beat me. His name is Mew2U or something like that, and yeah, he's a really skilled opponent. So this was one of our games. I actually made one in the the multiplayer thing saying 1v1 for my YouTube channel, and I was wondering who would come. So he took the challenge. So let's go ahead and look into the builds, guys. So the theme of my build, or what I wanted to try with mine, was air supremacy and monsters. Against the High Elves, Norska, usually, or excuse me, Chaos will usually expect you to go like Sword Masters and things like that. So I figured going 2 Sun Dragons and a Phoenix might give me an edge if he didn't bring sufficient anti-large. So for my Lord, I took a Prince up on a Star Dragon. Of course, I took his ability to raise his melee attack with this ability right here called the Blade of Belcoratus, which will give you more melee attack. And this was just so I could, duel his Lord if he brought Archon or Kolek and things like that. Excuse me. I also have a secondary Sun Dragon, and the reason I took the Sun Dragons was, of course, for the breath weapons. They have really good splash damage. For my front line, guys, I took the Keepers of the Flame, and yeah, these guys will they blow up when they die. They have like a death blow thing like Slayers. So I was hoping if he brought Kolek, these guys would be able to deal with them. I also have 2 units of White Lions. Spears on each flank, and in the secondary line I have Lothran Sea Guard. So yeah, just to try to put a little pressure on Forsaken or any of his missile cab and things like that he might have. For my spells, I brought Lore of Shadows, and I brought a Feebling Foe and Miasma. So yeah, just once again, if I needed to deal with Kolek or Archon, I drop in a Feebling Foe, and then my Prince will be able to deal with him a lot more effectively. So yeah, that's all I have for an infantry. I didn't bring any cav except for 1 unit of Illyrian Reavers. So I was really going for a really heavy infantry forced or themed build, and then of course with the 2 or 3 monsters right here, and of course I have a Phoenix, guys. So yeah, that's my build. For my opponent, Mew2U, he brought the mighty Archon. Where is Archon at? There he is, among his troops. So yeah, he brought Archon. He did bring him looks like just on foot, so yeah, he's not going to suffer any large penalties. But yeah, and it makes it even harder for dragons to duel with him, because he'll get knocked down, and when they're knocked down they don't take any damage. So yeah, I like the idea of that. It's pretty cool. For his front line, guys, he just brought a mixture of Chaos Marauders. He has the Mirror Guard, some more Marauders, and then he has 2 units of Warriors of full gold chevrons over on this right, on his right flank. So it's really interesting to have that, powerful of a thing on the flank. So you can maybe go around and put some backline harass. He could deal with the Lothran Sea Guard. So it's interesting. He also has 2 units of Marauder Horsemen on this side, and the same thing on the other side. He also has the the Weird Spawn. These guys do armor sundering, so yeah, in combination with the Chaos Marauders, these guys will lower armor and make it a lot easier for the Marauders to apply damage. And he has the Soul of Damnation, so yeah, really powerful build, guys. And we'll go ahead and start the match and see how how it happens. So right off the bat, of course he's going to have the artillery ranged advantage. You can see the Soul of Damnation is getting off its first shot, and it looks like it's going for the dragon. So we'll see if we get a hit. So yeah, swing and a miss. Thankfully, my Prince was able to juke it a little bit. You can see over here, I am going to get a little early damage. Just going to turn this volume up a little bit. I'm going to start trying to chip away at these Marauder Horsemen. Now, these are not Horse Masters, so my Illyrian Reavers would beat them 1-on-1, but it's 2-on-1, so I need the support of my Lord or my Phoenix to deal with them. And you can see over here, I'm going to get a full volley from both of them, and I need to pull them back. So I'm going to send my Prince over here, and I'm going to try to get a flame attack, especially with him all grouped up. And yeah, you can see, guys, I'm going to get a direct hit, but it was kind of underwhelming. It didn't really do that much damage. I don't know what happened there. We only got, like, what, 3 models? So, yeah, that was really weird. Over here, you can see the army is slowly and surely going to start moving up now that he's changed the target onto the Keepers of the Flame. I just don't want to stand still and take that, that free damage. And yeah, I'm going to have this dragon going over to this side, and I was hoping that to take the dragon around to the side here to flank and try to get into the Soul of Damnation. Over here, you can see that we're just having like a skirmish match between the Illyrian Reavers and the Marauder Horsemen. I'm trying to take their aim with my Prince and allow the Reavers to shoot back. And you can see I'm trying to land on these guys, and I am going to do the speed buff, and it's almost just enough just to land. And I'm even going to get maybe 1 model. Maybe 2 models, but more importantly, it's going to cause a terror route. So yeah, and it's going to allow for these guys now to have a 1-on-1 fight, which they will win. Over here, you can see though that these 2 horsemen, Marauder Horsemen, are being a pain in the butt. I am sending my dragon into the woods, hoping that it will block some of their ammunition. But yeah, It's really good of my opponent to, excuse me, chase off the dragon and try to do early damage. I'm going to send the Phoenix now to try to screen these guys out, just because the Phoenix is faster than the dragon. But yeah, I don't really have a good answer to these horse masters, or excuse me, these Marauder horsemen, and I'm just going to take the damage as we get up on the approach. And you can see it's been a pretty punishing approach. I got Sea Guards almost down to a quarter health, and yeah, all my other units started to chip. So yeah, the front lines are going to start to collide now. We're going to have Lothern Sea Guards versus Chaos Marauders, and yeah, the White Lions will actually chew through those guys. And over here, yeah, you can see the same thing. All these like low-tier units aren't going to really be much of a threat to me. I am going to get an Enfeebling Foe off on these Mirror Guard, and I'm just trying to make it a little bit more effective for my White Lions to be able to deal with these guys. Over here, you can see that the Phoenix did land into the little group right here, and we're able to rout off one unit of his horsemen. And yeah, so this is a good pick for me. It's allowing these Lyrian Reavers to provide some overwatch. You can see right here, he has this really scary force of Chaos Warriors, though. And I am going to try to drop my unit down. I'm trying to do a little bit of a terror route, and you can see I am going to get some of my buffs off. Yeah, you can see right here, though, that Soul of Damnation has just been brutal, and my opponent is going to get a really good Flamestorm with Arkin. But it was interesting he did it on these targets that are already low on health, but yeah, it still got him the terror route. So all across the battle right here, guys, you can see that the lines have collided, and yeah, the Prince is dueling these Chaos Warriors, and I'm going to get a really good breath weapon from this dragon into the back of him, guys. But yeah, my Prince is taking surprisingly a lot of damage. Over here, you can see that the Keepers of the Flame are dealing with these Marauders, and the dragon is going to land in the back. And yeah, it's going to just allow these guys to terror route, and I want to be able to push those guys back to deal with the weird spawn. So that's why I'm investing Enfeebling Foe and so many resources trying to break that line, so my Keepers of the Flame can get there and assist in the back. Over on this line, though, you can see Arkin has been in the mix right here, doing yeah, the Lothern Sea Guards and the White Lions, and yeah, he's just chewing through them. And against Archon, these guys are just not going to last that long. Over here, you can see that these Spears are doing pretty good against these Marauders. But yeah, if we just go ahead and look at the overall picture, though, yeah, we might be winning this front engagement, but he has this whole secondary force right here, which is really scary. We have dealt with these two Marauder horsemen over here, and my Lyrian Reavers are almost out of ammunition, and yeah, the balance of power is pretty fairly in my opponent's favor, which is really surprising for me, since I really thought that my line would be able to chew through his Marauders a lot quicker than they did. Over here, you can see that the Flame Pigeon is dealing with these Marauders. He just has so many shaft units, it's just really hard to break through. Over here, you can see that the Mage of Shadows, my White Lions, and my Dragon are trying to duel Archon, but yeah, he's just refusing to die, and he's hardly taking any damage, unlike my Prince, who is almost down to like an 8th health. So we are 8 health. We are going to get another really good brave weapon to these Chaos Warriors, but yeah, with their chevrons, guys, they just refuse to die, even with all this armor piercing that I have. Over here, you can see that these horsemen are chasing off these Illyrian Reavers, and at this point, if it's keeping those guys out of the main fight, just chasing them, I'm okay with that. But yeah, the balance of power is just really big in my opponent's favor right now, which is really surprising to me. I really thought the Prince would do a lot better. And you can see right now he is dueling with Archon. I am going to drop Enfeebling Foe, and it lowers his stats, his combat stats, to 5233, so not the best. He still has pretty amazing combat stats, even with the debuff. And you can see that, yeah, he's just not taking hardly any damage. And I made a little bit of a mistake to put my Mage of Shadows in there dealing with the Lord of Chaos, so probably not the the best pick. Over here, you can see that, yeah, my Spearman kind of broke to all these Chaos Marauders, and my Pigeon is even breaking to these basic Marauders. So yeah, these are just things that I was really surprised by. You think that for one, these guys would terror out, and for two, they're beating a monster unit, just a basic Chaos Infantry. So yeah, at this point, guys, it's not looking really good for the High Elves. You can see that my Prince has been able to do a little bit more damage on the Archon, but with all Slayers of the King and Cascading Fire Cloak and all his buffs, he is going to beat my Prince. It's going to be army losses. So good game to my opponent. He was able to get a win on me. So let's go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown, and we'll talk about some of the keys for his success and the way that I see it. As for my army, it was experimental. I wanted to try the 2 Sun Dragons and the Phoenix. And yeah, I mean, the kill wise, my units did good, but we were just, we were outnumbered 2-1. If you guys look at that, all these Marauders, all these Chaos Warriors, the Mirror Guard, the Weird Spawn, like they were just too much. Even for the more superior troops, numbers do matter. And I was really thinking that the Dragons, in combination with my White Lions, would be able to break through, and it just didn't work that way. My opponent did really good at these horsemen, being chipping away damage on my dragon, and I was a little disappointed by the performance of the Phoenix. It didn't really get the terror out that I needed, and it just wasn't doing damage. Like, this whole build just kind of fell apart for me. The Feebling Foe, that was another thing. I was kind of underwhelmed. In this kind of matchup where he doesn't have super elite troops, I mean, it is really matter if you debuff them. So this was an interesting build from you. I really liked seeing this. I'm gonna have to try this. And you can see right here the 164 kills on the flame cannon, or excuse me, the hell cannon is nothing to scoff at. So all right, guys, hey, you said you wanted to see some losses on the channel too. So yeah, here's one for you, and it's always a learning experience. So it's Atticus. Stay tuned. I have some other videos coming, possibly today, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye bye.